What's up, guys? This is Bobby Douglas. Welcome to another 2020 NBA Draft Prospect full game video breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Oregon point guard Payton Pritchard. Pritchard just finished up his senior year at the University of Oregon, and he really had an illustrious career there in Eugene. As a freshman, he was a starter on that 2017 Final Four team that the Ducks had, and this year he was probably a top 3 or 4 finalist for National Player of the Year. So I'm not super high on him as an NBA prospect. I currently have him outside of my top 60. But there are a lot of guys around the league that really like him, and I fully expect him to be drafted. He's just a little bit lower on my personal big board. But nonetheless, he is a guy worth watching and worth getting a feel for in terms of his game and his just overall approach to basketball. So I'm excited to get into this game with you guys. The game I picked out today is against Stanford. It's his last game as an Oregon Duck, I believe. It's senior day for him, and he'll get a nice ovation as we end the video today. So make sure you stay tuned for the second half. And with that, let's get right into it. He's going to be number 3 in the green. I'm circling him right here. And let's go. So the tip in, and here's Pritchard with the ball. Again, he's pretty much a lights-out shooter and scorer. He was a 47% field goal shooter, around 42% from 3, averaged 20.5 points per game. Really just did it all for the Oregon Ducks. Averaged 5.5 assists as well. So he really just, was the absolute X factor. Number 1 option on all fronts, was the unquestioned leader of Oregon as well, right there. I mean, he's just one of those guys where he just plays the game the right way, and the reason why I'm so low on him is just physically I'm not really sure he can really make a difference in the NBA. He's undersized, he doesn't really have an elite level burst, and he plays really hard, and he's a really good shooter, as you're going to see right there as he just drains a 3, but overall, I'm just a little bit lower on him just because I do think his athleticism and just his overall size does limit his NBA potential. But yeah, that's just my personal view on him. But again, he plays with an awesome motor, plays hard on defense, and again, he wasn't a bad college defender. It's just in the NBA, it's going to be guarding bigger and stronger dudes. So I do think that might be an issue. And here he is with the ball right now. So again, you can see he does have a tendency, not a tendency really, but he does duck his head a lot when he's dribbling, and you can see the NBA range right there. He's going to miss that shot, but he's totally capable of making and taking those shots. And again, he really was just kind of like a Steph Curry presence for Oregon, just coming off of screens, rising and firing. Just really, really solid player for Oregon. He was one of the funnest players to watch in college basketball this past season, if I had any say about it. You can see right there, not a big time, eye-popping play, but you saw right there, he was weak side, and he was tagging on a guy crashing the glass, and it ultimately prevented his opponent from getting that rebound. So just little things like that. I think he's just really aware on the basketball court, knows exactly where he is, knows how to play his position, knows how to play in terms of every single situation, reads offense as well, reads defense as well. Just overall, just a really, really smart, high IQ player. You can see right here, we got a steal. It's going to be a 3-on-1 for Oregon. Let's see what happens. Looks like Will Richardson's going to take that himself. Nice play. And here we are again. You can see Pritchard guarding off the ball. And here he is on it. Again, that was just an orchestrated switch on that ball screen. So again, you see right there, almost had a backdoor opportunity. Probably could have gotten it there too. Waving off a ball screen. Let's see what he does. Again, another step back 3, and that time he's going to drain it. And again, he does have that just flamethrower mentality. I mean, seriously, and this guy was like this all 4 years at Oregon. I mean, to start on a Final Four team as a freshman is really, really hard to do. And he did it, and he was basically the leader of Oregon all 4 of his years there. So that's really impressive. And again, he really just blossomed into a really, really talented basketball player. And again, he can just shoot the living daylights out of the ball. Here he is off the ball. So we're going to get a made shot for Stanford. Again, these are just the highlights, mainly just extended versions of them. So you can see Pritchard already has 2 threes, I believe. This game is going to have 29 and 6, so he's going to kind of go off in this game. Again, you see right there, he does kind of get it detached on screens, not due to a lack of effort, just more to a lack of athleticism and burst around screens, things like that. So I do think defensively, he won't be a positive defender in the NBA. And so I think that limits his overall upside in terms of his chance at the next level. And again, I really just see him as a guy who's a really, really awesome college player, but just won't really work out in the NBA. And that's not to say he's a bad player. I mean, you got to remember, these leagues in Europe, overseas, you could still make a really nice living in basketball not playing in the NBA. So I do think his game is probably more suited to Europe, if I had to guess. And here's another just deep three. And so one of the criticisms that scouts have of Payton Pritchard is that his shot selection could be a little bit erratic. But a lot of that is probably chalked up to the fact that he was the guy and he had a total green light at Oregon. I don't think he would be taking the same types of shots that he did in college and the NBA or even professionally. So that's just a little bit, that's a concern that they have. And we've already seen him jack up some really deep threes in this game. And there's a nice steal. Again, immediately knowing where he is positionally, reading the offense right there. Again, that's just a senior veteran play, and he has all the tricks in his bag when it comes to that stuff. So again, nice steal from Pritchard. He averaged actually 1.5 steals per game. So he does, again, that's not really, steals are more of, in my opinion, steals are probably more of a good measurement of defensive awareness rather than defensive ability. If you're in the right position, you can pick off a lot of passes. You can strip balls in certain situations. You know, in terms of ability, like, you might not be able to stay in front of your guy all that well, but you can still get steals. Again, maybe a little bit late on that drop-down rotation. But again, he wasn't really going to offer much resistance to Oscar da Silva right there anyway, so. And there's Will Richardson with a nice floater. And here's Pritchard coming off in transition. Not much going on here. Oh, that's a nice play. Let's see what he does. Yep, that's a really nice play from Pritchard. That was Steve Nash-esque right there. Coming off a little DHO, almost a UCLA cut from the sideline. And then a nice little drop-off pass into the middle of the lane for, I think that's N'Faly Dante. So that was a really nice play. And again, just probably one of the best leaders in college basketball over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And here he is running the break in transition. And again, it's a little bit herky-jerky. Can't really get a whole lot of separation. That's a perfect example of why I think he won't really work out in the NBA. Just a matter of just right there. You can't really get that burst. Can't really get separation. Then he just kind of turns it over. Doesn't really have elite length either. So you're really banking on him just being an absolutely knockdown shooter on the catch, I would say. And just being able to hold his own defensively. And I'm not really sure. I mean, he is a really good shooter, but I'm not really sure that's going to really allow him to stick in the NBA for as long as he would like. So here's Oregon running the press. So again, Pritchard was involved in that trap. Almost got a steal out of it. And again, good job. That's pretty subtle as well. But just knowing where the opponent is. You can see when he went to close out at the top of the key right there, he was cutting off that pass back on the left wing. And just those little plays like that really helped defenses get reorganized, help make offenses slow down a little bit, think twice. And again, Pritchard just knows exactly where to be on the floor at all times defensively. And so that's a very, I think that's a very key part of his game. And here's on the drive, nice kick out. Gonna finish there. And Pritchard's out for a little bit right here, so I'll skip ahead to 9:06. Remember, these are highlights, so they're not super in-depth, but they're good enough for this, I would say. So you see Pritchard fronting the post right now, and he's trying his best. He can't really offer much resistance there, but nice jump stop in the lane. And you can see he tries to gain separation by just kind of lowering his head and just kind of sneaking under defenders. I'm not sure if that's really going to work in the NBA, but, you know, it is one of the things that he does have in his arsenal. And he's out for a little bit right here. I think that's actually the end of the first half video. Just want to double check here. Yeah, that's the end of the first half video. So I'll pause the video here. So yeah, we saw a decent amount of good Pritchard highlights. He had some nice passes, had some really nice plays defensively that were just a result of his intelligence and awareness of position. He also had some nice shots, and we saw a little bit of his offensive play style where he's just kind of really fun player to watch, can shoot it at any moment, things like that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the second half. I will upload that video as soon as this one is finished uploading. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see you for the second half.